Hey, Shorty, how are
Oh, good evening, good mornings, good afternoons, everyone. Hope you are well. Scotty, what's happening, mate?
you? Oh, mate, my wife tells me I've got two major faults.
Right.
One of them is I don't listen. I can't remember the other one. That's bad, isn't it? So,
Oh,
no. Hey,
love
listen,
it. Love it.
she sent me down the shop the other day to get 6 cans of lemonade, but I picked 7 up instead. I just.
That's how we're going to roll tonight.
That's where we're at tonight. That's exactly where we're at. How's your week been, mate?
Oh, mate, it's been all systems go. Yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster for me this week. Some sad news on our front, which we'll jump into a little bit later. But it's mate, it's been an interesting week. Welcome to another edition of What's Up Wednesdays. Everything in between dad jokes and the roller coaster of the business of smiles.
Well, yeah, I know, right? And that's the truth of it, isn't it? Like we're having a red hot crack. Some things come off, some things don't, and whatever. The bigger purpose is to touch hearts and connect with people. And I'm so lucky that this week I've been able to do that on quite a few levels, and some of it's actually touched my heart as I was talking with Daryl last night, and going to ECOS out in Yarra Valley and supporting the volunteers out there doing an amazing job. But the thing that touched my heart the most was seeing somebody who, has had challenges in life and just grown through them, just become this beautiful human being. And to see her heart yesterday, and just like, maybe I got a bit of a glimpse of myself, in what I do with the business of smiles. But I got to see somebody just in their absolute heart work, and just it's so beautiful to see the community work around each other and support each other, and just genuine appreciation for one another, and to create produce and then gift that to the community that they live in, like it's just extraordinary. It's a moment in time, but it's a moment that added another little piece back to my heart, so it was just absolutely wonderful. And then to have the opportunity, because I've recently joined the BNI network for the business of smiles, and to sit there every Wednesday and have breakfast with people who are improving their business and supporting one another in business, which is a really lonely place at times. And then for me to rock in and just drop a big heart bomb on them consistently, like it's wonderful. I do feel sorry for people who have to talk after me at times, because I just help people feel, and today we were talking about, who's your dream referral partner, and I'll share with you who I put on the table. So I want a man who has built an empire, done so well with business, and really created this amazing opportunity in life, to make him so foundationally strong, but feels like he's got a piece of his heart missing. I want to reconnect him to his heart. I really want to reconnect him by taking him on a journey, which is the business of smiles, and really opening that up. So what a beautiful place to be, amongst supportive crew. So that was my day today. My day yesterday was brilliant, at ECOS. But Friday for me was a day Friday was awesome, but I think it was Thursday night. We had the Smiles for Life dinner, and I was a little bit quiet on the advertising of it, and that's okay, right? Just because I had a lot of going on, so I didn't really want to pump it hard. I just wanted to go and have a nice dinner with some of the regulars. But there's a young bloke who's been coming occasionally, and he's gone back to school, and to have 12 men celebrate him, and just be so proud. Like, it's just so wonderful, So that's a couple of little things that have happened. I also had the opportunity to work in the kitchen on Saturday, and the Bayside
And everyone's still
Community
healthy?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to Cam yet. Oh, that's quite funny. That's a good point. I might have to check in, just make sure everybody's still there. I cooked a bit, I cleaned a bit, and I did a bit. I was great. I loved it.
Look out! Look out!
Served a bit, carried all the plates down my arm.
The good arm. The good arm.
The good arm. Yeah, not the bad arm. I wouldn't trust that. But, and it was brilliant. It's, and I put in the comments tonight, like the Ted Lasso scenario that you and I both love, and I can't help but think of the community kitchen like that. It's just such a supportive place, such a supportive network of people just looking out for one another and, creating a safe place for people to grow, and for me, that summarizes Ted Lasso. I mean, in your background is, believe Ted Lasso, and it's so true, isn't it? Yeah. Giddy up. What's that mean to you, mate?
Yeah, it was really, really special. So I was visiting an office that I do some work with at Casino, which is a rural town. It's the beef capital out here in the Northern Rivers. And they have a beautiful beef week. That whole week they celebrate all their cattle and so forth. And I was out there the other week, and I was driving on my way home, and I looked up, and sometimes the schools, I'm not sure you noticed, but sometimes the schools have got these big electronic billboards out the front of their schools and they've got maybe images playing, they've got messages, or school term starts back and so forth. And I looked up, and there was the picture on the big billboard at the school, and it said believe. And I just stopped and I pulled over and I just went, oh. And for me, it's the ability just to believe in self, believe in each other, believe in your teammates, believe in life, and knowing that no matter if you don't have a road or a roadmap to get there, you'll get there. And it may not be tomorrow, it may not be the next day, but that's what we love Ted Lasso, is that inner belief that he has in his players and his coaches and his team and everyone at that club. It's just such a influential positivity component that he oozes out of all aspects of him, which just invite you into his world and takes you on that journey. It's a beautiful concept, and it's a beautiful word, believe. I love it. What about you?
There's so much I love about it, and I think just because of my journey, like, I had a conversation today with somebody. Belief is contagious. Love that. I'll try to put it up, but I won't touch it because I'll probably get it wrong. But it's, I love the support no matter what happens. And so many situations happen and because life happens, right? And things don't work out the way they're meant to work out at times. Things happen that were good at the time that turn out, that's probably not so good. But they don't punish each other. They gain bigger context to a situation. And once they've understood the situation and broken it down, they'll throw up an analogy to explain it, to give it another look. So you're seeing it through a different set of eyes. And it's such a beautiful way to look at life, like to actually break it into a positive, like it was Papa. try to make Ted Lasso stick on me, and not happening, mate. Not happening. But I mean, I take that as a compliment, because it's when you believe in people, anything can happen. You know, people have. Even I myself, I have doubt in my own mind consistently about what it is I'm meant to be doing. What you know, am I making a difference? Am you know, and it's, am I doing the right thing? And to be surrounded by people who believe in you makes such a significant difference. And for me, that's what Ted Lasso is about.
Mm.
You know, like the moment for me when, and I'm going to do this one spoil because it's season 1 or season 2, I can't remember now. But when Rebecca apologizes for setting him up, and he just turns around and goes, "It's hard. You're hurting. You've learned different. Thank you for sharing it. Let's move on."
Mm.
You know, what can we create? Because it's, I was speaking with someone the other day about, does punishment meet the crime? You know, and I think that's something we can really take away from, and implement into our life. I've never met anyone who's made a decision to make the wrong decision, Shorty. Everybody makes a decision because I think it's the right decision in the moment. You know, and if you've got that in mind, what do you need to understand about that decision? What do you need to learn about how they made that decision so that you can implement a different outcome for the next time that situation arises? Or how can you improve that situation even better? And I think that's the essence of Ted Lasso. What are your thoughts around that?
I'll just take that one step sideways. And who makes it the decision right or wrong? Where do we come up with having a decision that's right, and where do we have a decision that's wrong, and in whose eyes are we viewing that decision? Yes, we have laws. Yes, we have social recommendations and statuses and everything. But it's interesting, right? And when you look at, if there was no right or wrong, it's an interesting concept to play around with. You could go pretty deep with it, but looking at that and reverse engineering that, and I think that's what we love Ted Lasso is because of that concept. You know, you mentioned about, you know, with Rebecca, and there's another episode when they talked about Nate's 9, and spoiler alert, when, you know, they were 2 goals down and the whole belief thing came up, and Nate, they brought the whole team to decision. And do we continue on with this Nate's 9? Because Nate came up with it and so forth, but they were 2 goals down. And if they didn't win, then they would get kicked out of the whole league. And they all came together and made the decision. And that belief that Ted had in the team, that belief that Ted had in Nate, that belief that everyone had in each other was just phenomenal. And the outcome was even incredible. But it was interesting to see how each person interpreted that decision, how the players interpreted that, how Nate interpreted that, and how the coaches interpreted that, and what their behavior was in relations to believe. Very interesting. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. I'm dancing with it, right? And it's It's interesting because I struggle with the right and wrong side of life, right? And especially in a lot of the connection that I create, because if I have a judgment of right and wrong, then most of the time I won't get through the door, right?
Correct.
So, and it's more of a curiosity opportunity to understand more, so that I can look at creating solutions to move forward, so that I can create opportunities. Yeah. So, and that's, and I love that. And I think when we believe in people, and I'm looking at a corporate structure too at the moment, right? Like it's so much of, I love the triangle scenario where, triangle top pushing down pressure that'll eventually push away. Whereas if the leader supports 2, that supports 4, that supports 8, 16, the triangle gets bigger and stronger, but it's all wedged in tight. And I love that. But that all comes from belief. Believing people, believing opportunities that they put forward. And that's extraordinary. That's the life I want to live.
Yep.
I'm just thinking about where I'm going to implement it in my life. Like literally right now, who do I need to believe in? Right? Rather than who do I need to believe in to make stronger? Who can I make stronger by just believing they can do it? Pretty awesome.
And I guess is there a willingness there or a glimmer there that they also deep inside them, there is a glimmer of belief, but maybe they just don't know how to get there. Maybe there is a spark in there that they know can be easily ignited, but they just don't have a strategy or a process or the tools. And I think when someone believes in someone, it gives them permission to light that ignition. It gives them permission to go, this is what the essence of the business of smiles is. I see you. I hear you. I'm here for you. Right? Without even saying anything, but just holding space and being present. And I think that then gives permission for people to believe in themselves. They may have walked the journey of, and with opportunities, but that then gives an opportunity, another opportunity for them to go, because I've been heard, because I've been seen, because I've been acknowledged, I now have that light sparked in me that I do believe. So I think if you look at what we do in the business of smiles, it's one of those core essences is believe.
I love that, right? And I'm seriously sitting here smiling, just thinking about what is the transaction that happens. And literally just before I got on, I was reading a book, and I'm actually going to read something from it. Boys, that's loud. I got all these. Someone needs to teach me.
Hello,
right?
hello, hello.
Hello. What was his name? Hello.
Alan. Alan.
Hey, Alan. Alan. So I'm actually going to turn my phone off. It keeps ringing, right? And I love it, but that's okay. Right. So I just received a book, and I just put it aside so that I didn't lose it, and then I put it aside, and I did lose it. One of the things that just blows me away when I sit down in the kitchen is I hand people a book, right? And I ask people to teach me them. Teach me, right? If I'm not here, teach me. Leave me a book. Let me know who you are. And who are we? We are one when we are united. We are the lead when it feels right. We need, we want. Together, we are a team. We crave we. We rely on we. Who are we? We together are strong. We love. We are empathy. We become compassion. We need more than me. We are the day and the night. We are the seasons with love like sun. We're empathy like in winter. We are strength in autumn. We are life in spring. How much does that make you believe in we? How much does that make you believe in us? How much does that make you believe there's more? I'm not going to go too much more into that, but there's a life story in this book. Yeah. Someone's life is in this book. And that's the gift that I get when I sit at the kitchen on a Friday, and I believe it's important to be there for my community. I believe that it's important to have a conversation with people that don't talk to people. I believe it's important to sit and be present and smile. Hello, how are you? Good to see you today. Such a beautiful world when we do that. If you haven't watched Ted Lasso, and I just can't recommend the series enough. I mean, why would you recommend the series, Shorty? What, apart from the belief, why would you recommend it?
For me, it's there are so many beautiful key lessons that are shared and so many beautiful metaphors that are delivered that just land in relations to certain circumstances that we all face in life, certain situations that some of us may or may not have been, but it's still the message. It's just, so the writers of the show have really, really done their homework, and they use the game of football, i.e. soccer, in relations to so many lessons of what a team sport can bring to a player, a team, a management team, an organization, a club, an association, a community, and then a whole country. So it's so many different layers that there are so many offshoot stories, but it keeps on coming back to the core essence, and which is obviously the believe word. And that's the thing. It's there's layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, which is just incredible, absolutely incredible.
Well, I've actually got some of the quotes here, right? And I'm going to throw them at you, right? And then just a quick reflection. Yeah, I don't follow any sport. I don't follow or play any sport, but I love it. And I love that because you don't have to enjoy sport to enjoy what this is. I'm going to throw some quotes at you, right? And I want you to come back at me with what? To try is scary, because you can end up losing a lot. But you have to put your heart out there.
Love it.
What does that mean to you?
I guess for me, it's the ability just to be that vulnerability, just to let go and just to have a red hot crack, and leading with your heart, because I think we can sometimes lead with our head, but when we have the heart and the head connected, it's like, whoa. And even if it doesn't work out the way that you may think it worked out, there's always a silver lining. So that's the ability to have that try. So one of the golds. What about you? How do you interpret that one?
Just have a crack, right? Like, put your heart into everything, have a crack, because I would much rather live a life of I've had a crack than I never tried.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's for me. This one's grouse. Boy, I love meeting people's mums. It's like reading an instruction manual as to why they're nuts. And I love it because that's very much because we learn that to me says that we learn from our experiences, we learn from the people in our life. Do you know what I mean? So
Yep.
that's the experiences they've had. That explains why that is. What does that mean to you?
Oh, yeah.
Leave it at that. Oh,
Next one.
this one's gold. Do you believe in ghosts, Ted? I do, but more importantly, I think they need to believe in themselves. And isn't that a cracker, right? And that's just the essence of the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's that to you?
And that's the thing. There's a lot of these quotes, they are so said, and that's why it's got to be an element of context around these quotes, because they're so just like one-liners. And you could watch Ted Lasso. I think I'm up to the third round, and I know you're probably 3 or 4 or 5th round through. But every time you hear it, it's like, I didn't hear that one liner, and they just keep on coming out left, right, and center. It's just like, oh, and every time you hear it, you keep laughing. It's like, oh, that's a good one.
100%, and it's all the stuff around the outside. You watch it the third, fourth time, you're starting to notice everything in the peripheral vision of things rather than just what's going on, and it's all integrated, and it's just all the little things. Like I just this one for me is awesome. There's 2 buttons I never like to hit. That's panic or snooze. Yeah, and I love that because for me, hitting the panic button puts me into a state that I can't work through. I get stressed, I get anxious, and I go, okay, got to breathe through this. You know what I mean? So whereas, the snooze button, I only set my alarm for one time. That's when I get up. It's time to go, right? And I love that because I love getting up and having a crack. No, what about you?
I see it as like you got your panic and you got your snooze, and it's operating in between those 2. If you look at railway tracks, and that's where I believe is that flow state. So you're stressed, but you're not in panic, and it's just like, but you're ready to go, and you're not totally chilled out and need to go to sleep. So it's working in those 2 train tracks of that flow state. So it's like, let's go, let's have a crack, let's make it happen. We're not snoozing, but we're not in panic mode. Let's go.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. If there's one word you could describe outside of believe that you could use to describe Ted Lasso, what would it be?
Trust.
I'm going with gift.
Ooh.
Right? Because I love presents.
Nice.
Yeah. But I like the presents, PREC. PRENC. Presents. Presents. I got to think here. PRESENCE. That version.
Yeah, he gets it.
That hurt. Right? Because I just, there's no P. Wait. Hang on a sec.
Put it up.
Hang on a sec. Where is it?
There it is. I'll
I've
put it
turned
up.
them
I'll
out.
put it
I've
up.
turned it. I don't
I'll
even
put it
know.
up. It's up. It's up.
Have you-
It's up. Yeah, it's up.
Sure, it's up.
I've got the button.
PRESENCE. Presents. Right. I love it.
Yes, Lisa.
Yeah, so it's very much me. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the fact that you got me. And that's got my back, right? That's belief that I'm going to get through this, all right? Even though we took up a bit of a head slap. So, but it's, you look at that trust and gift,
Mm.
right? Two words that are very different, that have very different meanings. What are your beliefs? Isn't I got your back, fellas? Thanks, Lisa. Got your back, fellas. That's a gift, and I trust that Lisa has. What are your belief systems? What do you need to believe? Watch Ted Lasso. Get around it. Love it. Talk
Love
about it. Share comments with us. Tell us your favorite bits, because I'm sure we'll enjoy it. Shorty, we're at time, and
We're at
we can
time.
just sit here and just talk for ages because we like it. Parting gift for everybody tonight. Word of wisdom. What do you got? What's James Short? Give us your one bit of wisdom.
I'm going to take a snippet of what you actually said earlier. Is if there was one person that you felt needed a little bit of believe love, who would that be? How would you make an impact in someone's life by believing in them? What would you do to show them so they experience that belief that they know that you believe in them? Who would that person be, and how would you do that? There's my parting words. What about you?
I'll leave it to that. I'm not going to add anything to that. I'm going to leave it. I think that's just about perfect.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a wonderful night. Scotty, any final words?
Where's that bloody button?